So I want to tell you a little bit about my un-neutered boys. I have 3 little un-neutered boys right now, and they are all in these reptile terrariums. I used to have Caleb and Archie in these 2 cages down here, but they figured out how to get past the Velcro doors, so now they have to be in these much smaller cages. So this is little Caleb, and he is the son of Brampton and Trixie, and he is the most awesome little mouse. He's like the friendliest little guy you ever met, and he always wants to come out. And lately I've been giving him free run of the studio, and he has a blast. And it's cute because he'll always come and sit on my lap for a while, and then he'll go off and have adventures. But he's also very smelly. That's the problem about un-neutered males. Their pee smells just like skunk. So my studio is kind of smelly right now with 3 little boys. And this guy is by far the smelliest of them all. He's cute, he's adorable, but oh my god, does he ever stink. And this is how mice get the reputation for being smelly. It's because the little boys that aren't neutered smell like small skunk. Yeah, Caleb. Small skunk. I'll let him out a little later and show you what it's like, because he's really cute and he loves being free. Just loves it. It's really hard closing this because all he wants is to be out and about. You gotta stay there. No. Let's put you over here. There we go. I really like these reptile tanks. They actually make a really good mousery because they have ventilation down here, ventilation up top. You can open these doors really easily so you can have good access to the mice. And you could also even leave them open and have them as an open concept mousery, but then you can always close the doors when you need to. And they come in all sorts of different sizes. This is a little bit small, but he's only going to have to spend a small part of his life in here, and he gets lots of free run around the studio, so it's okay. But you can get them much larger than this. But for my purposes, this size is much better. So it's still a little bit small for a little boy, but he gets free run. He's obsessive. He always wants to come out. So that is little Caleb. So now we'll move on to Caleb's brother, who is right here, who is just as desperate to come out. This is Archie. And Archie is always begging to come out, just like Caleb. And he's actually just as sweet and cuddly as his brother. He's sweet and cuddly. Oh, little Archie. Hi, Archie. Archie is wonderful. He's fluffy like his brother too, except he's all ginger. He's all ginger. It's kind of neat. He's got the exact same markings on him that Midas has. He has this little white spot on his back, somewhere back there. Midas has it too. And he's sort of a similar color, but Midas has the iridescent gene, and that's what makes him look like gold. Whereas this little guy's just a little ginger job. He's just a little ginger job. Very affectionate, loves his free run. So again, his cage is a little bit small for a mouse, but it's not bad. And actually, I prefer this cage. It's got a wider base than Caleb's cage, and it's not as high, and that means the ventilation will be much better. So ultimately, there's a bit more space in this cage than Caleb's. So, but he thinks it's way too small. And shutting doors with this little guy is a real challenge. Yeah, you have to be really careful you don't accidentally squish these over-enthusiastic little mousies. Back you go. Now I've got to gently close it. I'll squish any little paws. But he's not happy. But I'll let him out. He'll get to run around the studio. He and Caleb get to run around the studio, but separately. Because if they ever met each other, even though they're brothers, they would try to kill each other. So, always on their own, and he's just as friendly almost as friendly as Caleb when he's running around. Always have little visits, and he'll come and he'll sit on your lap and he'll groom, and then he's off again. Yeah, he does not like to be in this cage. He wants to be free, and you can smell that there's girls around, but can't get to them. I'm starting to think that I might get him neutered actually and not breed this little guy, just breed Caleb, but I haven't quite made up my mind yet. Because the sooner they can be neutered, the happier they're gonna be. So he wants out so badly. Oh, he doesn't like being in here, not at all. Oh, I really feel for him. Yeah, the sooner he can be with girls, the better. But right now he's just an unhappy little boy, stuck in a small cage all on his own. All on his own. But free run time's fun. He really enjoys that. So because I like this cage so much, I bought another one because I had a second boy coming. This way I'll be always able to keep 3 boys, up to 3 boys. And down here we have a little girl who's spending some time with this little boy. That's little Charlie, and he is Summer and Percival's baby. And this is Tabitha, and she is Brampton and Trixie's daughter. And she's the sister of Archie, who's given up, and Caleb. And she's an awesome little mouse. But I've been doing a little bit of an experiment with these two. You can now buy a mousy birth control. I'll just show it to you guys. So this is sort of a mousy birth control. It's used as a humane way to reduce numbers of mice. It is safe to use. They don't die or anything like that. It just makes the females infertile. And then what? You either have to set out some live traps, and then you'll effectively get rid of everybody, or by releasing them elsewhere, or some people just leave it be, and eventually you'll just end up with, say, 2 or 3 mice that aren't having babies, and the wild mice live up to 5 years. They live a lot longer than the domesticated. So then you only have to put up with 2 or 3 mice for 5 years. They'll chase away all other mice because they're very territorial, and they won't have babies. So in a way, it has potential, and it also has potential for us pet owners, because these little males are so lonely and so frustrated when they're not neutered, and it'd be awfully nice to be able to give them a companion, but you also don't want rampant breeding. So with these two, I had them for 2 weeks on this stuff, and they absolutely love it. It's actually got a male pheromone in here that really attracts the females, but she really liked it, and so did he. So I had them on her for 2 weeks, but then the problem is that I thought she'd be really happy to live with him, but no, she absolutely loves Midas and Amara and Faye, and she was really unhappy. So I've compromised. So every time I have a visit with this little guy, once or twice a day, and it's really nice for Charlie because he really likes her. And then the rest of the time she spends with her family, which she thinks is Midas, Amara, and Faye. But she also likes this little guy. It's just that she'd rather be in the other cage. I don't think I could ever be a scientist, because when you see a little mousey doing this, you feel so sorry for them, and then you put them back where they want. So she's been in here with Charlie for about an hour, and she's had enough. At first she's like happy to see him and everything, and then she's had enough. So they were on the medicine it's a herbal birth control. They were on it for 2 weeks, and then about 2 weeks ago I quit giving it to them because I realized that I couldn't keep this up, because little Tabitha does not like being in here. She wants to be with her family. So for the last 2 weeks they haven't been on it, but so far no signs of pregnancy. So we'll have to see. She should normally, like, you put them in with a male, and within a week they're pregnant, and within 2 or 3 weeks they start looking really large, and she's showing absolutely no signs of being pregnant. So we'll see how it goes. It's not supposed to make them permanently sterile, but we'll see how it works. So far, no babies. So far it's been working. And if it turns out to be without side effects, as they advertise here, and that it's safe to use and very humane, and it actually stops them from giving birth, then from now on I won't have to have lonely males. Un-neutered males will get to spend time with the little girls and not be so lonely. I don't think it'll ever take the place of neutering, because neutering comes with other advantages like lowered aggression and no more male mouse stink. Like that little guy smells, and my entire studio smells ever so slightly skunk-like because of that little fella. You know, these two, he's just started to smell recently, and he's actually kind of a little smelly boy, but not as bad as his brother. It always is a little different with the different males. Some of them hardly smell at all, and others are like little skunks. Yeah, he's a bit of a little skunk, but not quite as bad as Caleb is. He doesn't like being in here. Yeah, this is what you have happen when you have enclosed cages. They just want out, whereas you don't get that behavior in the open concept Mousery, because they feel free. They don't feel trapped. Whereas in traditional cages like this, they always feel a little bit trapped. Even if this was the biggest cage, he'd still be doing a little bit of this, wanting to come out, not happy. But part of it's also because he's un-neutered, he can smell females nearby, and he's lonely, and he's got way too much energy that is good for him. But I think I will take little Tabby, put her in her regular cage. Oh, you poor little boy. Now the problem is I could go pet him, but then it's always hard closing the door because he does not want you to leave. That gets really tricky. Oh. Okay, Tabby, you want to come, don't you? Tabitha. Tabby knows this routine. There she goes. And he's quite a bit shyer than the other two males because he's Summer's son. But I think it's going to change with time. My intern Rachel has been spending a bit of time with him, and he actually likes to be cuddled. And so he's getting much more confident, especially since I'm taking his girl away. He's very gentle and sweet, though. Tabby actually really likes him. She'd just like to have him and have Midas and Tamara and that whole troop. So go close the door. There we go. So now we'll go carry her over.